to think, what if he turns out to be better than me? And so now he's looking at Adam, and some narration of the Prophet mentioned that he starts to go around Adam alayhi salam, like he goes around and around, he goes through him, and he's constantly like observing him. And so Iblis actually becomes obsessed with Adam alayhi salam. He cannot deal with the fact that his title may be taken. And this festers for a while, these feelings of jealousy and envy. And actually, the proper way of describing this is actually hasad. The concept of hasad in Islam is when you see something that someone else has, and not only do you want it for yourself, you want that person to not have it. And that is what is truly dangerous, and that is what Iblis was suffering from. You know, the scholars, they discuss this issue. What was the first sin that Iblis committed? They say, was it hasad or was it arrogance? A lot of scholars say arrogance. Some scholars say it was actually jealousy and envy, or hasad. And I hold the opinion that it was actually hasad. That it all began with hasad. It began with that extreme jealousy where he couldn't stand that perhaps Adam alayhi salam may turn out to be a creation better than him. And this is how he's feeling now. And he hasn't said anything. No one's talked to him. He hasn't spoken out about this. It's just all happening in his heart. Until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blows life into Adam alayhi salam. And we know at that point Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala orders the angels and Iblis to make sajda to Adam alayhi salam. Right? This is, by the way, not a sajda of worship. This is a sajda of respect. This is a sajda of honor. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَقَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ. We have indeed honored the children of Adam. The creation of Adam alayhi salam is honored. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created Adam with His own hands, as opposed to the jinn. There are many ways in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala honored Adam alayhi salam in His creation. Also, the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told the angels to make sajda means that Allah honored Adam alayhi salam even above the angels. And sometimes we don't realize this as mankind. When we debase ourselves, when we disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when we put ourselves in these types of situations, when we are, like I said, debasing ourselves, we don't realize that Allah has given us honor, and we ourselves, we take away our honor, subhanAllah. Right? But Allah honored the children of Adam alayhi salam. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives the command, and we see this mentioned in many places in the Quran. For example, Surah Al-Kahf, verse 50, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَإِذْ قُلْنَا لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ اسْجُدُوا لِآدَمَ. And we said to the angels, make sajda to Adam. And Iblis is standing there, he's included within the angels, he's included within this command. Right? The command comes down, and I want you to actually imagine what this looks like. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Sad mentions, فَسَجَدَ الْمَلَائِكَةُ كُلُّهُمْ أَجْمَعُونَ. Allah says that the angels, and Allah uses the letter fa here. Fa, by the way, in Arabic means immediately. Right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't say ثُمَّ sajadu. He doesn't say wa sajadu. Not and then, or after that, or sometime. No. Fa means immediately. Immediately the angels, they go into sajda. Now, this gathering of angels is more amazing than we can even comprehend, but I'm going to try and give you a visual. Imagine the angels standing in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The angels are absolutely beautiful beings. Right? We know that they are more beautiful than we can imagine. We know that the angels are actually also very large beings. For example, the Prophet ﷺ, when he saw the angel Jibreel in his original form, in his true form, the Prophet ﷺ says, I looked up in the sky and the horizon was covered by just one of the wings of the angel Jibreel. Right? There are narrations that mention, the Prophet ﷺ said that if you were to travel, if a person, someone who's proficient at riding horses, if they were to travel the distance of a day and a night on horseback, they would not cover the distance of the wingspan of an angel. Can you imagine? This dude is just like riding and riding and riding for a full 24 hours. He's going, and he cannot cover the distance of a wingspan from one tip to the other. He can't do it. Another narration mentions 10 days and 10 nights. Subhanallah. These huge majestic, beautiful, awe-inspiring beings are standing in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they're lined up. Perfect rows. There's not a single inch, not a single millimeter that one angel is in front of the other, right? In terms of the row. And it's not just 5 rows, or 10 rows, or 20 rows, or 30 rows. It's as far as your eye can see, it's angels. Right? You look out, and I don't know if you've ever been in a situation like that where you look out and like your eyesight just stops at a certain point. There's only as far as you can see, and then it's just all blurry and gone after that. It would be like that, but in the distance it would just be angels. This type of gathering of angels. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives the command to make sajda, and the angels immediately fall into sajda. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَسَجَدَ الْمَلَائِكَةُ كُلُّهُمْ أَجْمَعُونَ. Not only do they make sajda all together at the same time. In that beautiful scene, and in that harmony, everyone has fallen into sajda. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِلَّا Iblis. Except for Iblis. He's the only one left standing. Imagine how strange that would look. Everyone falls into sajda, and there's one dude who is left standing. How odd would that look? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, istakbar. He became arrogant. وَكَانَ مِنَ الْكَافِرِينَ. He became arrogant, and he became amongst the disbelievers at that time. And now he is asked by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, قَالَ مَا مَنْعَكَ أَن تَسْجُدَ لِمَا خَلَقْتُ بِيَدَيْ. Or in another verse, قَالَ مَا مَنْعَكَ أَلَّا تَسْجُدَ إِذْ أَمَرْتُكَ. What has stopped you from making sajda when I've commanded you to do so? And we hear the excuse of Iblis. قَالَ أَنَا خَيْرٌ مِّنْ. He says, I am better than him. He said, you created me from fire, and you created him from clay. So a couple things here. Number one, Iblis was the first person to use his own reasoning to reject a commandment from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number two, Iblis was actually the first racist. He was the first, the shaitan was the first racist. He was the first person to look at his creation and look at his physical attributes and say, because of the way I was created, I am better than this person. Right? He said, because I've been created from fire, I am better than Adam alayhi salam. He's been created from clay. In actuality, we as Muslims, we know that the principle is, إِنَّ أَكْرَمَكُمْ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ أَتْقَاكُمْ. That the most noble amongst you are who?